Welcome back to the All Things Everything podcast presented by Gulf Coast Smoke. My name is Alonzo.
And I'm Sabrina.
And this is episode 8. I say it every time, but I'm like, man, it feels like, I don't know if it feels like we've been doing it for a long time, but I mean, I guess it kind of does, but then we say 8 and I'm like, that doesn't sound like that long, but it feels like that long.
Yeah, when you talk about like 8, that's a real small number, right? But when you put it into perspective of 8 weeks, right? It is a long time.
Yeah, I mean, 8 weeks consecutive. And if I'm being 100% honest, I was about to tell you today I don't even want to do it. Not that I didn't want to do it, but like, you know, the past couple of days have been a little bit weird. Won't go too much into it, but emotionally draining for sure. Like I was telling you that yesterday we had a little situation come up. Everybody's fine, but we had a little situation come up, and I feel like at that moment I was just kind of like, I guess being dad or something, or being a man, or, you know, whatever. I don't know. Doing whatever. I guess just, I don't feel like I had time to really react to what happened. I was just like, okay, we have to do this, and this. And even after the situation, like, we came home. I felt fine. Really, I did. Mm-hmm. I mean, we were talking the whole night. Like, everything was fine. And I woke up, like, as soon as I woke up, I just felt, like, weird.
Yeah.
Like, I was, like, instantly, like, I don't want to say sad, but my emotions that I should have felt yesterday, I felt them this morning. And that kind of carried a little bit into the day, maybe like an hour and a half. But then I got over it. I actually talked to you about it and stuff. And it was just really, it was a weird couple of days. So I didn't really want to do this today, but.
And I think I felt the opposite is like, which, you know, for me, I'm typically level-headed and I'm calm and everything. And I was good up until a certain point, and then I started feeling like, real bad about it.
Well, just so we're not kind of like acting weird, not talking about it, our daughter fell and her 2 teeth pretty much went through her lip, and she had to end up getting stitches yesterday. And so I left work a little bit early to go to the ER because we had to go to the ER. And, you know, like I said, the whole time I felt fine during that whole moment, and then all the way up to actually the nighttime, I felt fine. And then whenever I woke up this morning, I started thinking about it. I was like, oh my gosh, like this happened to her yesterday.
Right.
And we had to do this, and this, and she had to go through this. And you know what I mean? She had to get the shot in her lip. That was the worst part. That looked horrible.
The stitches for me is what got me.
Yeah, see, I was able to watch that, no problem.
Yeah.
Right, the stitches. But at the end of the day, when I woke up this morning and actually sat down and thought about the situation, I was like, dude, that just happened to my daughter. You know, and it's. I mean, things could always be worse. Like in the grand scheme of things, I don't want to dumb it down, but it really wasn't that bad. I mean, it was bad, but it wasn't that bad in the grand scheme of things.
She was good. I mean, even when it happened, I mean, she was good. It just, you know, having to get stitches was the hard part. But otherwise, she was fine.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
if she could have let it sit. If she could have sat home and let it heal, she would have.
Yeah,
know?
Because I mean, whenever I went to the ER and I saw her, she wasn't even crying or anything.
Yeah,
she was like, she didn't want to show me the cut because I think she felt it was bad, but she didn't know if it was bad.
She told me, "Don't describe it to me."
Yeah, but anyway, she's all good.
Yeah.
But that's kind of why I did not want to do this today. But then again, as the day went on, I became completely fine, and my emotions got back into check, I guess. Mm-hmm. And it's funny. I have a friend at work, and they were like, "Man, you're in your feels on Facebook, huh?" Because like yesterday, I posted that thing about. I basically posted. Hold on, let me pull it up. I'll tell you exactly what I posted on Facebook. I know I'm not supposed to be on my phone during the podcast, but it's kind of in relation to what we're talking about. So. Yesterday on Facebook, I posted, things happen all around us that remind us that can change. Things happen all around us that remind us things can change very quickly. Those things can be good or bad. I will not take my days for granted, and I will continue to work on my patience in life. Lord, I am grateful today and every single day. Where are we cooking this weekend? So, obviously, like, I was at work doing whatever. I was sitting at my desk. I had some guys in the office with me. We were working on some stuff. We were getting ready for a camera job we were going to do today. And then I missed your call, and I saw your text, and I was like, oh, something's wrong. I knew it based off the text. And then my heart instantly sank.
That's why I tried to instantly reply with what was going on because no one wants to see.
Yeah, the text.
Like, call me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, I think you literally said, like, I need you to call me right now or something like that. And I instantly was like, oh, man, something happened. I knew something happened, so my heart sank. And I'm like, oh, crap. So I walked out of my office, and I figured out what happened. I'm like, okay. Unfortunately, my first thing when something like this happens to our kids, and you know this, I get sad and mad, like instantly. I don't know why. I'm not mad at you or anybody. I'm just mad that my kid's hurt. I wish I could have stopped that from happening. It's just not. You can't.
Yeah.
It's literally impossible. I'm beating myself up for nothing. Right? So it's one of those things where it's like, what's the point of being mad? Sad, you can kind of understand that. I mean, you don't want your kid to be hurt, obviously. But so I said that on Facebook, and then today I actually posted on Facebook. It's not about winning. It's about inspiring my kids and hopefully at least one of you. I will stand firm on that. And the reason that I actually posted that had nothing to do with yesterday. I had a friend who I'm not going to say his name. He reached out to me today, and he was texting me, and he was saying, man, I love what you're doing. I love the podcast. I love that you got your family involved. Congrats on the most recent wins. And I just want you to know that, like, you're inspiring. And I told him, I said, man, I appreciate the love on the wins and stuff, but this is not about those wins. And you know that. And I hope that people can feel that I'm being super sincere when I tell them, like, this is not about winning barbecue contests. Is it fun? Is it great? Is it good for our brand? Absolutely. It is 100%. And winning it's almost one of those things where it's kind of like, it's an outcome when you put in what we put in, right? We put in a lot of work. We put in a lot of time, effort, money, right? Mm-hmm. So like winning, you would think eventually comes, right? I mean, we practice at the house. Like, we've practiced chicken at the house this week already. Mm-hmm. We're talking about things we can change, what we can do better. We're trying to be very honest with ourselves about the taste of the chicken. It was a little too salty. It was a little too sweet. This sauce wasn't good, whatever. We're trying to perfect this craft. We know we never will, but we do take it very seriously. But basically what I told him is, it's not about winning. It's about exactly what you just told me. And I'm telling him this. I'm like, if I inspired you to pick up a baseball and go throw it, you want to be a pitcher? Whatever. If I inspired you to become, I don't know, whatever, that's all I want. And that's all I want for the kids too. And I've told you that. It's like, if the kids come and tell us, hey, Dad, I want to build this. I want to buy rent homes. I want to do this. I want to do whatever. Me and you, I know I'm talking, but me and you want to be able to say, like, let's go. We got you 100%. Because we know that when you put in effort, and when you care about something, and when you work hard, hopefully good things happen. And I've talked about this, but like the little things that are happening, like the barbecue contest wins and all that, they feel great. I'm grateful, and I thank God for sure. But that's not the end goal. It's not. And we're going to go compete this weekend. And yes, 100%, I want to win. That's not, don't get it twisted, right? I am a competitor at heart. I played baseball growing up. I played football growing up. I played track and field growing up. I played, tennis, golf, everything. I'm a competitor. I want to win every single time. I want to win when we're playing Mario Party. It's just, and you want to win too, right? Like, that's who we are. So yes, I want to win, but my point is that these wins don't define what we're doing, because we know and we feel our biggest platform is going to be YouTube. It's going to be doing things like this. It's going to be talking to people, and hopefully they hear this conversation and they're like, man, I really relate to that. Or I don't relate to that. And even if you don't and you get something from it, that's amazing. Mm-hmm. You don't have to relate to us. We're Sabrena and Alonzo. We're not Bob and Jill over there, whoever they are. So, I mean, I was happy that I got the text, and I even told him, I said, dude, I appreciate the text, because sometimes I don't think people realize how hard it is to make yourself want to go, right? Like, So I was telling you this morning, I didn't even want to do this. Yeah. You get that text, it's a reminder of why you're doing this. Even if it hasn't worked out exactly the way we want to, it's a reminder, hey, this is why I'm doing this. So one person gets inspired, and if they surpass us, I do not care. And I've told you this. There's my favorite thing to say, or maybe not even favorite. I say it a lot. There is enough room at the dinner table for everybody to eat. How many times have you heard me say that?
A lot.
A lot, right? Because it's true. I don't have to step on you to get where I want to get. We can walk alongside each other, right? I don't have to be better than Sabrina in order to become what I want to become. All I have to do is be the best version of me and you the best version of you. And if we make it, great. And I've told you this, if we don't, I'm a better man for it. Right now, I could be, taking a nap or playing video games, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like us doing something together is much more beneficial for me, for you, for our relationship, for us as parents. I mean, up until 2 seconds ago where I looked to my right and I saw there was a camera, I forgot there was a camera. Feels like we're just talking, right?
Right.
And that's the thing I love about it. And obviously I'm talking a lot, but that's just, if you guys don't know it by now, this is truly just how things go. Like when we're in the car and we're driving, we've been traveling a lot this year.
Yeah.
I talk a lot. Sabrina listens a lot, and then Sabrina gives her input. And that's just the way we are. I have a lot to say. Sometimes I don't shut up.
Well, I enjoy it though, because I mean I'm just at home with the kids. I don't really have much to say, so I enjoy hearing all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and again, shout out to my buddy for shooting me that text.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't so his original text was actually, "Hey, I just watched your comp video where you GC'd, and I have a question." He said, "Please don't feel disrespected." He goes, "How did you win if Mullet Shakers got a first, and then what did they get on brisket? Fourth? Okay." He's like, "How did you win? Because you got no chicken call, a pork, a ribs, and a brisket call." And I told him, I said, "Okay, so there's a few different ways that this happened." Okay. So number one, Mullet Shakers, unfortunately, didn't have the best pork day that day. And their score it reflected that. It was a little bit low. And our chicken, even though we did not have the best chicken day, the score wasn't bombed low.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was a higher score. And then we hit that first place brisket call, which obviously helps a lot. So,
because brisket is weighted more than everything else anyway?
Yes, yeah. I believe so. I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But yes. And yeah, I mean, obviously, again, I'm not trying to be humble. A lot of luck goes into it. That chicken, that rib, that brisket has to land on the right table in front of the right people. And they have to love the flavor that we put out.
Well, and also just because you got, let's say, a first place in chicken and a first place in ribs, doesn't mean that first place chicken is the same exact score as your first place ribs. Right?
Ribs or brisket.
Right, because, for example, Mullet Shaker's got a perfect
200.
Yes, so that's 200 points right there.
Yep.
But their chicken, they didn't get a perfect score, so it's less than 200.
Yeah.
Our brisket score could have
been
like
a 198 point something.
Right.
It was pretty high.
So
our first place brisket could have been higher than their first place chicken.
Right.
And then unfortunately, they didn't do that great on pork. We did third in pork, so we beat them by a pretty decent margin there. But the thing is, it was still close. Right. Here's the thing. Honestly, when we went to awards, Curtis told me, he was like, "Dude, the pork wasn't good today." He knew it. If they cook a decent pork, they beat us.
Right.
They just had a bad pork day.
And we know our chicken falls short.
100%. We know our chicken is not there. That's why I just said we've been practicing it. So, dude, they're good cooks, though. Yeah. Like Curtis and Drew, they cook good. So they brought us food, and it was good food. Mm-hmm. It was really good food.
Yeah, we tried those perfect ribs.
We tried the perfect ribs, and he brought me brisket, right?
Yeah, burn ends, I believe.
And the brisket was good. Fourth place brisket. The brisket was really good. They're great cooks. Mm-hmm. I wish I would have tasted that chicken, but they're great cooks. They just had a bad pork day. It happens. I mean, they got a third overall, right?
Yes, I believe so.
So, which is still a great showing.
Yeah. And we've talked about this before too, is when you go to awards, a lot of the times as cooks, you get a general idea of, okay, this is where you're going to land in the placings, but it can really, change in an instant. I mean, you could think, oh, they've got first or second place, and then that person gets fourth, and you're like, what? Especially when there's, in Aransas, there was 21 teams.
Yep.
Especially when you get into a higher number of teams. I mean, you can have a team that only gets called once, and they win the whole thing because their average scores are better than everybody else's, or not their average, but their overall amount of cumulative points are higher than everybody else's.
Yeah. And the thing about the small comps is it seems like it would be easier, right? It is hard.
It's not.
To me, it's harder.
For sure.
Because you have a lot of good cooks and you're all on one table and you're just beating each other up.
Right.
So, like, my food is going directly up against your food, or directly up against Curtis's, and then Lee's, and then Reenie's. And there was a lot of good cooks there. Yeah. There really was. I mean, the size of the event did not reflect how good the cooks were there, for sure. Right. Lee Hickle was there. Reenie Gonzalez was there. Curtis was there. Hitman Barbecue was there. Like, right off the bat, just right off the top of my head, and they're all great cooks.
Right.
That was like what? Literally like top 5 right there. I just named it. And then there was us. That's 6. Again, thankfully, we got lucky. We ended up winning the event. Like, that's the one thing that I'm not going to sit here and say, like, oh, we're just better than those guys. No. Is that son?
Yeah, I hear mom.
Son, come in.
Open the door, baby.
Come here. Oh.
Brief intermission.
And we're back. And we're back. So, maybe that was like a blessing in disguise because I was going just going off and talking for like 45 minutes straight. So I'm sorry about that to the listeners and to the viewers. But yeah, I mean, weird couple of days. Shout out to my buddy for shooting me that text. We don't think we're the best barbecue cooks. We cook decent barbecue. We got lucky the past couple of events. We'll see if we can keep it going. That pretty much summarizes what we just talked about.
Yeah, so. I mean, and it's really cool to get comments like that, especially on our YouTube page, because you don't, a lot of the times, everybody's quick to either say nothing or the bad.
For sure.
And a lot of people don't. I mean, that's in life in general. Nobody ever, a lot of times you're at work, no one's going to compliment you because you did a good job. They're going to call you out when you did a bad job, or they're just going to be like, oh, he did a good job, but not say anything.
Yeah.
So it means a lot to us because it shows us that the things that we're doing matter in a way.
They mean something to somebody.
Right. They mean something to somebody. And that's pretty cool.
Well, just like I've told you, like, that's what our kids are young. They're not going to feel like that yet, but I hope one day they do. That's my biggest inspiration to do this. Again, I know I'm beating a dead horse, but that's why I'm going to continue to do this, and I'm going to continue to go as hard as I humanly can. And I was talking to somebody recently, and I don't even remember who it was. I really don't. I'm lying. I do remember who it was, but again, I'm not going to say their name because these conversations that you have with people sometimes, they're not meant for, it's not that we can't talk about what we said, but like it's not my business to put their name out there. But I was talking to somebody, and it's like, they told me straight up, they're like, dude, barbecue and comps, they changed my life. Not for necessarily the better or the worse, but they changed their lives because, well, yeah, for the better. Because spending more time with family, doing something you love, getting outside, having fun. We are more active now than we have been in a long time.
Yeah.
Because we're outside, we're cooking barbecue, we're running around, we're sweating. Like, I don't know if you guys can see in the camera, but I'm literally barely getting over a gigantic heat rash that was all over my forehead. It like overtook my forehead, right? It was bad. Like, I had a heat rash on my forehead that was so insane from the last comp because it was so hot outside. But it's like, it is what it is. We are enjoying it. Now, one of the things we can talk about today is we did decide that we're going to try doing comps every other weekend because we did notice that our content was most definitely lacking when it came to the backyard recipes.
Right.
And we know that. We also noticed that we're not putting out very many shorts because a lot of the times during the week we're prepping for the weekend. So instead of creating shorts during the week, we're prepping for the weekend. We're not able to get that little content in here and there. And we do not want to forget and run away from our roots. We do love competing, but it makes it very hard for us to continue to make a lot of backyard content, which we don't want to cater to one or the other. We want to cater to everybody. I mean, right. I think that you feel the same way.
Yeah. I think we've gotten a lot of, even just from that TikTok tacos, we got a lot of people who started subscribing for the recipe content, not necessarily for the barbecue or the competition content.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's important to have a balance. Also we have regular life happening.
Yeah.
So it can get hard to balance competing every single weekend.
Yeah, and I think one of the reasons why we were competing so much is because we really wanted to get to 10 CBA contests.
Yeah.
Because with CBA, right now we're sitting at 85th on, I don't know.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. We're sitting at 85th, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
I ain't going to lie. I'm pretty happy with that.
I thought we were at 113 or something?
We're at 85th.
We're up now? That's good.
So we're sitting at 85th on the list, and we only have 5 out of 10 contests. So CBA takes your top 10 contests, and that's how they rank you in this list. Now, if you have 11 contests, what it'll do, it'll knock your lowest one out and replace it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have 20 contests, then you have 20 contests to choose from to get your 10 highest, and that's what's going to rank you with.
Right.
So right now we have 5, and we only have 5.
Yeah.
And if we get 10, we only have exactly 10. What we get is what we get.
Yeah.
So if we bomb a couple contests, it's not going to be good for our score.
For sure.
So we really wanted to focus on getting 10. That was our biggest thing. But, I don't think we need to push it. Next year we'll have a full year. We'll 100% get 10. 100%. Easily. And, the ranking yes, we want to be up there in the top 10 for sure. Because, again, this is about proving our products are really good. And I think that shows that our products are pretty good. But, there's always next year. We're not going to force it. We're not going to put ourselves in a weird position to do it. So if 10 comes across the table and we're able to get it this year, we'll do it. If not, we won't. And it's not a big deal. And we've come to peace with that. So, yeah, we're 85th now. We'll see where we land in the end. Not a huge deal to me if we don't get 10, sincerely. Like I said, I was like 10, but,
right.
Like I said, like in my cheesy Facebook posts, like I'll continue to work on patience. And it's true, I will.
Yeah.
And I'm trying. I promise I'm trying. So, yeah. But anyway, that's kind of enough about that. We will be heading to Poteet this weekend. And if you look at the weather, it looks like it's going to be great weather, and it looks like it might be a little cold. What do you think about that?
Oh my gosh, we're excited because, in general, the kids they've been wanting it to be cool so they can wear their long sleeves and their sweaters and stuff. So we're pretty excited for that. Not going to be as hot.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's cool weather. You can probably wear a t-shirt, but I'm going to be freezing. I already know it.
Yeah.
Because I'm cold everywhere. But I'm really looking forward to that. Now the rain, I'm hoping.
I looked at the forecast today. It's not showing rain at all.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's not showing rain at all.
You never know, though. It shows rain and it doesn't. And it doesn't show rain and then it rains, but hopefully not.
Well, whatever it is, we'll,
Yeah.
If it's raining, then the kids will stay in the trailer and we'll do what we do as best we can and live with the results.
Right.
It ain't no big deal either way. But we'll be in Poteet this weekend. We did put out a recipe video this week that came out on Tuesday, and it was stuffed mini bell peppers. What did you think about those?
Oh, I loved them. And if you go to our website, we have recipes which we do need to, get back on top of. But typically in October, I'll do a recipe every year of some sort of stuffed bell pepper. I did the jack-o'-lanterns and then ghost last year. So I was happy to have another stuffed pepper recipe for this year, which we will put the recipe up on the website as soon as I get it finished. But I love a good stuffed bell pepper. So I thought they were great. And, they surprisingly, we didn't have the actual pepper on the grill for very long.
But it was still tender.
Maybe like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, and it was still super tender.
It was still tender. It still had a little bit of a bite, but it was still tender.
Yeah.
And I thought it was great.
Yeah, so we made Mexican rice, which the recipe of that is very, very, very like my mom's done it so many times. There's no real like tablespoon of this, teaspoon of that, tablespoon of this. There's none of that. The only thing that you're going to get that's like set in stone is going to be 2 cups of water. It's going to be 1 cup of rice and an 8-ounce can of the tomato sauce.
Yep.
That's the only thing that you're going to get that's like, hey, this is exact. Other than that, I mean, you're basically winging it. You're tasting the juice as you're cooking the rice, and you're adjusting based off of what you want. If you want more pepper, go more pepper. If you want more salt, go more salt, whatever. You can really make it your own, but it was a quick video, and we did that on purpose. We were trying to make sure that we're not doing so much long content, especially because our comp videos are pretty long. So we wanted to try something shorter. You guys seem to be liking it, and I think we've gotten some pretty good feedback on that video. So I'm glad, I'm glad you guys liked it. If you haven't already seen it, go check it out. I really thought it was one of our, I don't want to say one of our better videos, but it was a very good video, and I thought that the recipe was incredible. You guys can obviously play with it, make it your own, but man, you just cannot go wrong with the stuffed peppers. The Mexican rice itself, if you guys make that, you can pair it with so many things. My daughter loves the Mexican rice. She's like,
oh, our son, he for his birthday, he'll ask for the orange rice, Momo's orange rice.
Yep,
that's Mexican what he wants rice. Every time.
That's what he wants.
Yep, and
it's delicious. Mm-hmm. I mean, it really is. And again, you can make it your own. You really, truly can make it your own. Sauce, just however you want it to be is however it's going to taste. So just have fun with it. Enjoy it. The chicken over the charcoal, just continuously flipping it. Dude, so good.
And then with Malcolm's Grande Gringo.
Malcolm's Grande Gringo is fire. I'm sorry. I love that stuff. I mean, we use it for any Mexican dish, whereas before we were just using like salt, pepper, maybe a little bit of paprika, whatever. But now we're using Grande Gringo on everything. It's just a really good seasoning. It's got a great flavor to it. The thing that I like about it is you get all those Mexican flavors, but it doesn't give you heartburn. You know how sometimes there's some of those seasonings, like if you season a little bit too much, like, man, you're getting major heartburn. I'm like, ugh, I don't like that.
Yeah, we've had to do that with the prepackaged taco seasonings and
I can't do it.
Yeah, you have to half the recipe.
Yeah,
or else I can't. It's too strong.
It's way too strong, and it just I don't even know how to explain it. Like, makes my throat feel nasty and everything. It's like, ugh. But Malcolm's Grande Gringo does not do that. It's just a great seasoning. And if you guys don't have it, we'll put a link in the description. You guys can go find it. Try this recipe out to be exact on it. But man, that was a great, great, great recipe. I really love the way it turned out. And it's a great football food as well because it's quick, it's handheld. It didn't take us long at all. The longest thing that it took was the rice.
Right.
And the rice took like 25, 30 minutes. It doesn't take long.
Yeah, I mean, while you're making the rice, you just do the chicken.
Exactly. And that's exactly what we did. Everything came out pretty much right at the same time. It just worked out perfectly for us.
The thing I liked about it more as opposed to a jalapeno popper is with the poppers take a lot longer because you're
trying to get that bacon crispy.
Right. Yeah. And then you've got a lot of that filling coming out, which I love poppers. I mean, they're up there with some of my favorite things. There's so many ways you can do it. But the same with those mini bell peppers. If you can find them at your local grocery store, I mean, H-E-B is where we found them here in Texas. I think you could fill them with anything that you want. You could, if you don't like spice and you want a popper, go with those mini peppers.
Yeah, they had, I don't know. I mean, they just tasted like a bell pepper, but they're not spicy at all.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to do your poppers with those and maybe get the cream cheese still, wrap them in bacon.
Right.
I'm sure even that would be delicious.
Yeah.
So there's
more
just
mild option.
Yeah, and opportunities are endless there for sure. Mm-hmm. And I have to give a shout out to one of my coworkers, Brian. He's the one that told me he uses those for his poppers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he was the one that told me, he was like, dude, you should try your poppers with this. And then, of course, my mind started thinking about what else can we do with it.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, because I'm not going to copy his recipe exactly and then put it out on a video. But I started thinking, man, mini bell peppers. A lot of people love to stuff the regular sized bell peppers.
Yep.
Why don't we do our own version of like a bell pepper popper, handheld, perfect for football season, like I said. And man, they turned out amazing. They really did.
And try it with some skirt steak.
Well, I was going to tell you that, actually. We should try it with different stuff, different proteins. We should try it. I would even be curious if we could do like a shrimp one, like a little bit of shrimp, maybe a little bit of like a corn salsa with some cheese and stuff. Like, there's just, the opportunities are endless. It's just, and that's the cool and fun thing about it. So, again, try that recipe out. Go back and see what you thought. But, another big thing that happened this past weekend was the American Royal.
Mm-hmm.
And we were unfortunately not able to make it because you and I, well, maybe me more than you, were stubborn and we didn't want to go because we didn't get the invite. So we didn't want to cook the open only, which there's nothing wrong with doing that.
I didn't even know when it was.
Yeah. Like I said, it's mostly me. I don't want to cook the open only. I want the invite. Like,
right.
That's just unfortunately the way that I am. But, man, Texas did pretty good.
Yeah.
Texas did pretty good. So you didn't watch as much of the awards as I did. But the first day, so Kevin Hernandez, My Pits Are Burning, Bobby Delgado, Quattro D Barbecue, and Chingon Barbecue, they teamed up and they went under Chingon Barbecue with, I think, Texas Original. I can't remember their exact name, so I apologize about that. But on day one, which was the Invitational, they hit a first place perfect score pork. Just, I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm just shaking my head. Like, if you guys are watching, because that blows my mind.
Right. A perfect
score at the American Royal, a world championship, like
a KCBS. So it's slightly different. The texture and that you're gonna go with at the KCBS is gonna be a little bit different than the CBA.
And they nailed it.
Yep.
And they nailed it. And they did it. And that was the first time. Again, I could be wrong. That's the first time that Bobby and Kevin have done a KCBS.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I'm pretty positive. And again, just so incredible. And Kevin and Bobby both have been doing so good all year.
Yeah.
It makes sense, dude. It makes sense that they did that. And just congratulations, obviously. I talked to Kevin on the phone almost not right after, maybe like 20 minutes after. And he was like, dude, I'm losing my voice, bro. I've been screaming. And then I talked to him when he got home. And I was like, dude, you really are losing your voice, bro. Like, you must have been screaming. Go to the second day, which was the Invitational. Which was the Open, over 500 teams. They got a 6th place overall.
Wow.
Insane. Just great cooks. So awesome to see a few others. So Bill Purvis, Chicken Fried Barbecue, had 2 walks on the Open. I believe he had 1 walk on the Invitational. And his wife got a perfect 180 in dessert.
Oh, really?
Yeah, LC had a walk in turkey. He had a walk in sausage. I'm not sure if he had any walks on the main proteins, but his turkey always looks so good.
Yeah.
Shout out LC. Shout out Chicken Fried. Texas Oil Dust got a brisket call. He got, I believe he got another call. We had, what else, man? I'm missing some big ones, and I'm sorry.
Well,
I know for a fact I'm missing some big ones.
Yeah.
Fred Robles.
Oh, yeah.
Rio Valley.
Brisket?
Yeah, Rio Valley. He got a perfect. Did he get a perfect or a perfect? I can't remember.
What's a perfect?
It's perfect scores all the way across. So
like perfect, his score that got dropped, right?
So don't forget, they can drop a score.
Yeah.
So with the drop score, you still get a perfect. But if you got a perfect, that means everyone across the board gave you a 9 all the way.
Right.
Every single judge, even if they can't drop the lowest one because it was perfect all the way.
Yeah.
And he may have gotten a perfect. I do not remember. But either way, he got a perfect score. First place brisket. Just awesome. Oh, and War Pig Barbecue got a walk in brisket as well. And he's been cooking a really good brisket. I keep up with a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
I have them on Facebook, and I'm always checking to see who's doing good. And War Pig has been cooking a really good brisket. And he's got his 50 cal sauce that makes it look like the brisket looks so deep, dark purple, and like it just looks like a backyard brisket. Yeah, his 50 cal sauce if I'm not mistaken, on the bottle it says bark in a bottle.
Ah, okay.
Never tried it, right? I'm not going to sit here and lie. I've never tried it, but his brisket always looks really good.
Yeah.
And so Rob also got a call in ribs. So that's Bullhorn Barbecue. I'm saying Rob like you guys know who that is. Bullhorn Barbecue got a call in ribs. Sure Shot Barbecue got a call in ribs and something else. And I think he got like 26th overall in the open.
Oh, wow.
So shout out Sure Shot. Shout out Bullhorn. I mean, War Pig, Texas Oil Dust, Rio Valley. A lot of those guys just did so good. Texas did good. Reggie Q Barbecue had a brisket call, if I'm not mistaken, the first day. I mean, man, it's one of those things where you see it and you're super duper happy for him, but man, at the same time, you're like a little envious. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I'm a little envious. I'm like, dang, it's human nature. But at the same time, I can promise you this: I'm genuinely happy for those guys because they got to that point, they went there, and they showed out, and they showed what they were able to do. So I'm very happy for everybody. And
they were out there cooking 2 days in a row.
2 days in a row.
And then
driving.
Yeah.
Shoot.
And then the categories, you had, your regular chicken, ribs, pork, brisket, but then you had turkey, sausage, baked beans, dessert, potato, vegetable, side dish.
Yeah. Crazy.
I don't remember if there's more or not.
14 turn-ins 2 days.
Wow. Yeah.
Crazy. So again, shout out to all the Texas boys and shout out to everybody that went out there and cooked, man. I think, I mean, we do live in Texas. We love Texas, but man, just shout out to everybody that went out there and showed out. I respect the heck out of all of you guys. Like, that's amazing. I'm super happy for everybody that was able to be there, for everyone that got to walk. Like, man, that's the biggest stage in barbecue. And you went out there and you did it. So I respect the heck out of that. Now, I will say this. There's a little bit of controversy right now around the American Royal. So during the second day, during the open, there was actually some issues with scoring. So they weren't able to start the awards on time.
Really?
They delayed them.
Wow.
Yeah, so they delayed them. And then during awards, they announced chicken and ribs, and they weren't able to announce pork because they still weren't done accumulating pork. So they went on to brisket, and then they came back, had to do a delay, and then like 15, 20 minutes later, then they did pork. So right now, according to what I've heard, and according to the rumors out there, again, I'm looking at the little Facebook comments all in my bar. So when I switched to the Gulf Coast Smoke page, I'm like, I see everybody's barbecue stuff, right? So according to what I'm seeing right now, they're auditing the whole scores.
Wow.
Which is crazy because here's the thing, and I don't know how it works, but let's just say me and you win first place. We're on top of the world. They audit it, and then we don't win first place. Like, how do you I hate to say it, you messed up so bad, like how do you make it right?
Right.
Because the person who really won deserves to really win.
Yeah.
But you just robbed that person of that memory, of all of that excitement, probably family members happy, sponsors may be happy, everything. And then you just say, hey, by the way, you actually didn't win. I understand. Here's the thing. When you're dealing with human beings, there's always a chance of error.
Yes.
And that's the thing that you kind of remind yourself of when these things happen. But man, the biggest barbecue contest in the world, that cannot happen.
And I will say, and this is no offense to, KCBS, but I think even just at the one that we attended, it seemed like there was error for some people when it came to, I think they need to find a better way to transfer these scores and record these scores, because it seems like there's too much room for error. When you're dealing with that many teams, you have 500 plus teams just on the second day. You have to find, which I'm surprised they haven't yet, but I think you have to find a better way to manage this scoring system, because I get it. That's a lot of numbers that you're keeping track of, but you got to find a better way to manage that, because and everybody's sitting. We know from experience. I mean, it sucks to sit there and you're waiting and waiting and waiting for awards to happen, and then for the American Royal to be sitting there and waiting, and then it's delayed. Yeah. And then you go for it again, and then it's delayed. I think they really need to work on that.
Yeah. No. I mean, like I said, the way I look at it is these are human beings. Mm-hmm. it's an error. I mean, nobody wanted to do that.
Right.
Nobody wanted to make that mistake. It's probably really crappy for KCBS and the American Royal right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I agree. You got to try and find the best way to do it. As you were saying that, I was actually thinking, and not to just kind of like go away from that, but I also did want to say shout out James Pavia, Texas Made Smokers. They got a call. Bo Daniels,
wow.
Bo Daniels, Totally Bodacious Barbecue. They got a call.
Oh wow!
So shout out to Bo, shout out to those guys, and you know, like I said, not to take away from what you were saying, we'll go back to that right now, and it's just a big mistake. I mean, and I'm interested to see what happens from the turnout because I'm not gonna lie to you, Bill got 2 calls in the open. I thought he won.
Yeah,
I thought he won. Now, I don't know all his other placings or anything like that, but I thought he won. He didn't even get a call for a top. So I'm just curious to see what happens. We have no control over it. We're just seeing from the outside looking in, and we're going to kind of just see where it goes. But it is crazy to see that happen on the largest stage in barbecue. And I'm sure people aren't happy right now, but I mean, it just is what it is.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
You've got people that are, they're writing down these scores, and sometimes you might not be able to read their handwriting the best.
They're entering it. They're entering on a 10 key. Yeah. You know what a 10 key is, right?
It's like
so it's just like the numbers.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, and you're
7,
trying
8,
to do
9.
those so fast, you can easily press the wrong.
Well, if you think about it, the 5 is right in the middle. The 9 is top right. If you accidentally just fat finger it, you could click a 5 or a 6.
Right.
They're right. They're all right there. So we'll see what happens with that for sure. The biggest thing I want to take away from it is congratulations to everybody that did well.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with the results. We'll see. That has nothing to do with anything that we can control, so we just live with it. Hopefully it works out for everybody. That's what I will say. Hopefully the right people won and will win that contest. But we'll see, because I do believe there's like an ongoing thing with it.
Yeah.
The one thing that we wanted to talk about also today was that weather that we talked about a little bit earlier. It seems to be, hopefully, us down here in South Texas, we might be rolling into some cooler weather. And earlier, was it this week or last week that I did that post?
Might have been last week.
So last week, I made a post on Facebook, and I said, and I did it on purpose, right? Keep engagement up. I said, I have a serious question. Beans or no beans in chili, and why?
Such a controversy for people.
Dude, people are like...
So like fighting words.
Yes.
Like,
it's like...
beans or no beans.
Yeah, no, I mean, no one really got like that with us or in our comment section, but there was definitely a lot of people that were like, chili should be able to hold its own without beans. Beans are just a filler. Or beans, it needs to have beans in it. That's real chili. Like, so I'm curious, if you're listening right now, go to YouTube, drop a comment, beans or no beans. I'm super curious what you guys think. And why is it so controversial?
Yeah, is it like a regional thing?
Why do people get so mad about it?
Right.
Like, I'm genuinely curious. So I will say that, like, one of my best friends, Chance, I was messing with him that night because I made that post. And then he texted me or I texted him, and I was like, dude, you're a no beans guy. I know it. And I was like giving him a hard time for like a good hour. I was just messing with him. And he eventually was just like, dude, I'll eat it both ways, bro. Like, and that's truly the way I feel. So there was a time, might be hard to believe, there was a time when I was like super particular about what I would eat. Super particular. No, seriously.
You've always been that way.
No, I'm talking about when I was
more open now.
No, I'm talking about when I was dieting.
Oh, okay.
Like I was trying to be like extremely, extremely healthy.
Right.
I had like a good 2 years where like
pre-COVID. Yeah,
dude, I was
COVID
like I would like turn cans, meat, everything around. I'd be like, what are the ingredients here?
Right.
And I got really into it, and I started like studying what these things did to your body and everything. And I dropped a lot of weight. Like I was like working out all the time, and now I like to cook barbecue. But anyway, during that time, I got you to start making me chili with no beans.
Yes. Yep.
And it was delicious.
Yeah.
But eating it with beans is delicious.
Yeah.
Like I'm not tripping on either. if you handed me a bowl of chili right now and it did not have beans, I'm not going to be like, where's the beans?
Yeah.
But if you handed me a bowl with beans, I'm not going to be like, why would you put beans in here?
Yeah.
Like, it does not matter to me. Like, they're so good either way.
Yeah.
Like, beans just gives a little bit of texture to it. That's all it does. Like, I still feel like if you cook a good bowl of chili, the seasonings and the meat shine. That bean just adds a little bit of texture. And if you don't want to mush the bean. You know, you don't want refried beans. You want a nice bean, but I don't know, man. Why is this so controversial? It's crazy to me.
See, and I know it's two different things, but like chili on a hot dog, for example, like I wouldn't have beans in my chili on a hot dog.
Ever.
Yeah. It's a different type of chili. But, you know, chili in a bowl, I like the beans because I don't want to just eat the meat. I want other stuff in it. I want other textures. I want other, I want the vegetables, those tomatoes, the onions, the beans. I want other things in it besides just meat.
For sure. And that's the thing, right? So like the way you make it, the way my mom makes it, there's two different beans in it. There's not large, but larger chunks of tomatoes in there. There's a lot of nice seasonings. There's ground beef, all that good stuff. It comes together really well. I like to throw cheese on top, and I like to throw hot sauce on it. A lot of hot sauce. You like to throw sour cream in yours as well.
Yep.
Right? So it's just
green onions sometimes.
Yeah, green onion. It's just like, I don't know. Like I think it's hilarious how hardcore. It's just like saucing or no saucing your brisket. Like people are crazy about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I don't like, just eat it how you want. No big deal. But yeah. So I think that we're going to have to come up with some different type of chili recipe. Like,
and we have a chili recipe on our website.
Yeah.
It's a homemade chili, but it's a basic chili. The recipe calls for beans, but you don't have to put beans in it.
Yeah, you don't have to. And I'm pretty sure when you were making me beans with chili with no beans, you didn't change the recipe. You just took the beans out, right?
Right. I think I would add maybe a little bit less liquid or something just to compensate for the no beans in there.
Yeah.
So it wasn't
but
just
again,
liquidy.
both were super duper delicious. So it's like, I don't know, but I do want to try some different chilies. Like I want to try like a white chicken chili.
Yeah.
So maybe we can get into a few other chilies this year. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that like to cook competition chili. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious, and this is a genuine question. If you cook competition chili, do you put beans in it? Yes or no? I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, right.
Right? So like it's just like, okay, for example, like we just talked about brisket, saucing or no saucing. In competition, I'm saucing.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't mean I prefer that in my backyard. Is chili the same way where I don't like beans in my chili, but for competition chili, I'll put beans? Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious.
That's a very interesting point because you think about these backyard judges.
Yeah.
There's going to be some that are diehard like, oh, no, I want beans in my chili. And there's going to be some that don't want beans in their chili. So it's like, which route do you go?
I mean, I think it's just, again, it's like the same thing. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure most of the people that are judging our barbecue have probably never put sauce on a brisket.
Right.
I could be wrong. Okay, let me rephrase that. They've never like glazed sauce on the top of their brisket. I'm pretty sure. Well, yeah. I'm not pretty sure, but I'm just guessing.
Yeah, like they taste it in the judging, but they don't go home and they're not saucing the outside of their briskets.
But what I do think a lot of them do is cut their brisket, drag it through sauce, and then eat it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people in their backyard do that, and I don't think people realize how many people actually do that.
Yep. Like
my dad, he's told me so many times before, man, you cook awesome barbecue. But he prefers it with sauce and bread.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. My brother-in-law, Mark, he prefers it the same way. I cook a nice brisket, and he'll eat a couple of slices by themselves. He's like, man, that is amazing. You know what would make it better?
Right.
Sauce and bread. Man, it's just, sometimes it's what people like.
Yeah.
You can't, I mean, like, what am I going to do? Get offended over that? Like, I don't.
Right.
Like, you better not sauce my brisket. Like, no, if that's what you want, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Dude, it's just like sometimes like, even when we go to Tuttle's, a lot of the times I'll eat the pork just by itself. And then every once in a while, you'll see me grab one little piece and dip it in the sauce.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I just like it.
Yeah.
I also like eating it with pickles. Like
it's also a textural thing.
Yeah, for sure. And again, I don't think these people are saucing the top of their brisket, but I do think they're dragging it through a lot. So all we're trying to do, obviously, is give them a little bit of that backyard feel. But again, I'm curious on the competition chili. Do you put beans in it or not? And that's a genuine question. I have no idea. I've never done it, but I am definitely curious for sure.
We need to go judge a chili portion of that's what we're talking about.
I think they have chili cook-offs only. We could probably go judge one of those.
Yeah.
We still never even judged a barbecue contest.
I know.
Which we wanted to, because we'd rather compete. I'm not going to a barbecue contest to judge. Are you kidding me?
Right.
I'd rather be out there cooking.
I'd rather keep failing at chicken than stop and go taste what the chicken's supposed to taste like. Man.
But this week we got the secret. I'm just kidding. We don't. We do not. We're actually supposed to practice chicken today, and we forgot to brine the chicken.
I forgot to brine it.
It's all right.
Yeah.
We'll try tomorrow. If we can't get it tomorrow, we'll try it at the comp.
Yeah.
Because
we'll wing it.
At the end of the day, the comp is the only thing that matters anyway, right? So, like, we can love it or hate it here all day. We might as well try it at the comp.
Yeah.
So, everything's all good. Everything's looking up. We'll be out there this weekend, and hopefully, I know there's going to be some good cooks out there. Kevin's going to be there. Bobby's going to be there. Curtis is going to be there. Raul's going to be there. So, it's going to be a tough competition, but those are the ones that I love the most.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I love the most. I'm like, yes, I love those guys going. Because also, like, I like seeing them. They're funny. Kevin's hilarious, dude. Kevin, I was talking to him probably like 15 minutes before we started the podcast, and I was drinking a drink, and he said something, and I literally like spit my drink out. Like, the dude's crazy. He cracks me up, and a damn good cook, so I want to go up against him for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, looking forward, we have Poteet, which is our next competition. Actually, right now, if you're listening to this, well, I don't know when you're listening to this. It's Friday or after, and we're getting ready to go to that right as soon as I get out of work today. So we're going to Poteet. We'll be back on Saturday, and we'll be ready to rock and roll with some recipes next week. So my biggest question this week, or not a question, my biggest request this week is for you guys to give us some recipe ideas, what you want to see. Because, like I said, we're gonna make sure to balance this really well. What we're going to try and do is we're going to try and do one recipe video, one comp video. One recipe, one comp. One recipe, one comp. If we kind of don't go to comps, you'll see more recipes. Or what kind of videos do you guys want to see? So give us some ideas. We obviously want to show you guys what you want to see. And again, I'm looking. Like, who can we collab with? Who can we make some videos with? I think we're to the point to where hopefully some people would make some videos with us. You never know. But, man, I really would like to start doing a little bit of collabing. And I think that would be a lot of fun. So
we should do a chili cook-off, me and you.
Yeah, we can. I don't know.
That'd be so much chili.
Yeah, it might be too much. We've talked about this. We need to do another challenge video, you versus I. Because the last time we did the steak, you beat me.
And, I'm going to say it right now, which is something we've learned in our competition scene, is that I'm pretty sure I only won because my food was hot. The kids were tasting it.
And here's the thing. From the bottom of my heart and soul, they were both really good. Like, your steak was great. I thought my steak was great too. I don't remember even how long, like, it's been so long. Like, how long was mine sitting there?
5 to 10 minutes.
I don't think that's going to make a huge difference.
Well,
10 minutes, yeah, but if it was 5, probably not.
It was closer to 10 minutes then, because mine was like...
Yeah, mine was definitely cool. Mine was definitely not hot at all.
Yeah.
But it's not like it was ice cold.
Nah, but I think it
was definitely cool.
The kids tasted mine when it was like hot. So I think they were both good, and it's just like, oh, well, this one's hotter, I guess. At
the end of the day, that was a really good video. And I think like people like to see it, so it's still a win. It's still a win for both of us, right? Because it did good on the channel, and that's what we want. That's what we did.
I haven't cooked a good steak since.
You haven't cooked a steak since?
Yes, I have.
When?
I cooked steaks.
Oh yeah, you have.
Like,
you have
several times, and then they just.
Well, you were trying your ass off that day, of course. That's why you cooked it so good. I was
just copying what you do.
I mean, it's pretty I mean, cooking a steak's pretty standard. You ain't got to do anything crazy, you know?
Yeah, no, just reverse sear and watch your temps. And
for sure.
That's it.
Yeah, but we need to do another one of those. And again, leave some ideas down below. We really want to see what you guys want to see. We want to hear what you guys want to see. And we want to try and do our best to make it come to life. So if you guys have any ideas, again, please drop them down below. We might do one more episode where it's just me and you. As much as I love having guests, I also love this. So this is a nice change. So hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. But
yeah, because we had no plan really coming into this podcast. We were like, well, we know we can go in there and sit and
talk. Just be us.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why we wanted to start the podcast, because we wanted to have a different outlet to show who we are. Not the, what's going on, everybody? Alonzo here with GulfCoastSmoke.com. And today we're making, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's the way I have to be for the videos, because you got to be entertaining. But like, this is my actual tone.
Yeah.
This is the way I actually talk. I don't necessarily talk like this. Like, for the rice today, we're going to use 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of this. Like, I don't talk like that but again, we're just trying to figure out this whole thing. I still feel like we're learning every single time we make a video, every single time we put a podcast on. But man, it is great and refreshing to just be able to be who we are. Thank you guys for allowing us to do that. And thank you guys for, even if there's only one of you, thank you for listening.
Yeah.
One of the things that I will say is that we are hopefully going to get a really, really, really good number of guests coming soon.
Oh, yeah.
I think you know who I'm talking about. And I think that's going to be a great, great, great episode. And we've talked about it already with them. They're down to do it. We'll have a different change of scenery. We'll actually be taking our podcast equipment somewhere else to do a podcast. Hopefully we can get that going really, really soon. And again, if you guys want to see any specific guests, let us know in the comments. Hey, reach out to them and let them know.
Yeah.
Say, hey, why don't you go on that GCS podcast? I had somebody request for a postal barbecue
that would be a
podcast episode. And I reached out to him, and he said he's down.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so we'll also try working on that. But, man, again, if you guys are out there listening, we appreciate you. We love you. And I don't know. Is that it for the episode this week?
I guess. I didn't realize it'd been an hour.
That's what I'm saying. We can just talk. And it's like, what the heck is going on? I want to give one shout out today. And I want to give a shout out to the barbecue store, because when did I place that order? Yesterday? 2 days ago?
No, not 2. What's today? Wednesday? Monday?
I placed that order Monday night at like midnight. And it's already here today.
Oh shit.
That's what that was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what that box was.
Yeah.
So we ordered our barbecue supplies from the barbecue store, and this is not sponsored. They have never given us anything for free. We have paid for everything with our own money. We have never gotten a discount. We've never nothing. Those guys are incredible. So I was like panicking. I was like, oh my gosh, like, we don't have sauce. We don't have this. We don't have that. We don't have nothing. I placed the order like midnight on Monday. It's already at my doorstep today, and it's Wednesday. Today's Wednesday, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Is today Wednesday?
Trash day, yep.
Yeah, today's Wednesday. So we got the order in like 24 hours from the time that they were able to get into the store and process it.
Right.
And then send it over to us, which, yeah, we're in Texas, but dude, if that ain't customer service, I don't know what is.
We need to get them on the podcast to talk about shipping.
Yeah, Dustin, how do you ship so fast, dude?
Yeah.
He'd be like, man, I don't know what Dustin would say, but yeah, that'd be a good one if we went over there to Hempstead and had Dustin on the store.
Yeah.
On the podcast in his store. That'd be a great one.
He's got a cool store over there.
Oh, he's got a really cool store, and he had, thankfully, shout out Dustin. Man, they had our products front and center right when you walk in.
Oh, the cool thing about their store is they've got a big table with a bunch of products as samples, so you can
actually taste it.
Right. I think that's really neat.
It is really neat, because sometimes you're going based off of faith, man.
Right.
I hope that Southern hospitality is good. It is.
Yeah.
But I hope it's good. No, you walk into the barbecue store, you can taste it.
Yeah.
Great, great, great group of people. Again, not sponsored. They've never given us anything. I literally got to the house today and I was like, there's no way that order is already here.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, that order is already here. So now that's one less thing we have to worry about. Getting to Poteet on Friday is going to be the last leg. And then we'll be out there cooking barbecue and hopefully cooking some pretty damn good barbecue. So shout out to the barbecue store. If you guys need anything from them, you can order online. They'll ship it directly to your house. Probably pretty damn fast too.
Yeah, they carry our products.
Yeah, they carry our products. Do we have any new stores since the last time that we talked about it? I know we have some new stores, but they haven't technically received our products yet and put us on the shelves, so I don't want to say anything. That's going to be for them to say. So we have at least 2 stores that have received our products, but have not put them on the shelf yet. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to say anything, but the barbecue store, actually, speaking about them, they should be restocked with our seasonings now as well. They were out of that base and Southern Hospitality. Thank you guys for doing that. I mean, we've been stocking them up pretty good. So yeah, it means you guys are enjoying the products. It means that you're going into the store and looking for them. And dude, that means a lot to us. So thank you guys for that. And I don't think we have any newer stores since the last time we talked.
I feel like we do since the last time we mentioned it. So we'll
for the next podcast, we'll have a list of our stores and we'll be able to update you fully. I have a feeling by then that we'll be able to talk about those other 2 stores that I said. But, I mean, you never know. That's on them to put them on the shelves and allow us to put it out there that they're now available. So, if you guys have any stores out there that you love, that you want us to have our products in, man, give me some contact information. I'll put my email down below, and I'll reach out to them, do the best that I can. We hopefully are going to keep growing. We have some products that we're trying really hard right now to perfect for you guys. No sauce. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah.
No sauce.
Hard.
We're not working on a sauce. Well, okay. We're always working on a sauce, but we're not close to finishing a sauce.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to be completely honest, but we're working on 4 different blends right now. So one of them we're completely final with, right? I'm not going to say the name of it, but GS. TGS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're final on that one.
Yeah.
We're final with it, but we don't want to just release one product. We want to release a couple.
Yeah.
So, again, we're working on a couple of others. I think one of them is going to be very unique. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think one of them is very unique, and if we get it right, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
And we won't put it out until we feel that we got it right. So it's hopefully going to be really good. And these next 3 seasonings are really going to focus, 4 will really focus on the backyard guy.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Well, and all of our seasonings in general, they're good for inside too. You don't have to just use them to barbecue. I mean, obviously that's what we made them for, but shoot, we use them on, everything. I season my eggs with base or hospitality. I season my potatoes with bell. Season my fries with any of them.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, and this is just the truth. When we made our first 3 seasonings, they were not meant to be competition blends.
Yeah.
No MSG, no fillers, no nothing crazy in any of those blends. But look at what we're able to do with them.
Yeah.
That's exactly why we're pushing, because they're not competition blends, but you can take them to competition and you can do really good with them. That base, that was a little more geared towards competition because we wanted that MSG pop. Mm-hmm. So there is MSG in that, but other than that, none of our other blends have MSG in them. So completely no MSG, no crazy fillers, nothing. In the next 3, I mean, I know for a fact a couple of them, one of them for sure won't have MSG. I mean, I don't know about the others. We'll see, but we're excited that we're continuing to work on stuff. We're able to feel confident to expand our line. And again, we just appreciate you guys putting us in that position. But we were supposed to stop this podcast over 10 minutes ago, I think, and we kept talking.
We're like those people when you hang up, all right, I got to go. And then we start talking about something else, and 10 minutes later, okay, we got to go.
Yep. Shout out to your mom and dad. Just showing a lot of love yesterday.
Yeah.
That meant a lot to me. So shout out to your mom and dad. Love them. I don't know if they listen to the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
They do?
Yeah, the other day, they just told me they went back and were watching all of our old videos just to see how the kids have grown and stuff. Like, they sat there one day with just a playlist of all of our videos, and they listened to the podcast. And
well, again, shout out to them. We love them dearly. Thank you for yesterday. Thank you for sending flowers to the house for Penny Winnie. Mm-hmm. She's a little down in the dumps. She seems it a little bit. Yeah. But we're about to go to the dollar store.
Woo woo.
Probably not spend $1. Probably spend a lot of money.
Shoot, I went the other day. Only spent like $30, and I was like, man, it's gonna be $100. No, it's just like 30. I love the dollar store.
It's not $1 anymore, though. I'll tell you that much. Isn't it $1.25 now?
Well, it's $1.25, and now they have options where like you get something a tad bit nicer for $3 or a little bit more for $5.
That's not bad though.
Yeah.
I mean, either way.
And then, if you're disappointed, you head on over to Big Lots.
Yeah, that's true.
Just a couple doors down.
But I think we're done with this episode for today. Again, thank you guys for allowing us to have this small platform to be who we actually are. It means a lot to us. It means a lot to me. I'm sure it means a lot to you.
Yeah.
So we love you guys. Thank you for listening. Hopefully you watched, but we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.
Peace out. Cub Scout.
Cub Scout. What is that?
Peace out, Cub Scout.
I've literally never heard that.
What?
Peace out, Cub Scout?
Yeah, it rhymes. There's no way you... Put in the comments below. Have you ever heard that?
Peace out, Cub Scout?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like something I've ever heard.
Maybe it's just in my head. They'll let us know in the comments.
See y'all later.
Says that.
Yeah. See y'all later. Bye.